Death is defeated. The King is alive. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, squad. Let's see if we can get some light going on here. Good morning, guys. I am on my way to therapy. Today is Wednesday, April the 15th, 2020. And I wanted to get up this morning and just talk to you guys while I have the chance. You know, last night I created a video that I uploaded this morning, and I just pray to God that it just bless y'all. You're hearing things that happen in my real life, things that took some of the things that ain't even like close to the things. But I wanted to speak to the ladies this morning. The ladies on this morning. Good morning. If you're on this morning, whatever time it is that you watch this video, I just pray that it will bless you, because that is always my intentions, is to be able to pour into you and to help you to understand and to help you to relate that the things that you went through in your life was all for your making, and to let you know that your beginning chapter is not in your beginning chapter. Let me change that. The beginning chapter of your story has a powerful ending if you're in God, and if you are doing the things of God, and if you are trusting God to make the change in your life. And I just I'm not excluding the men, but I just want to talk a little bit to the ladies this morning. So if you are listening this morning and you are watching this video this morning, I am driving, so I'll be turning away from the camera from time to time, so just bear with me, because honey, the tickets out here are outrageous, and the way people drive is even more. But anyway, let's get to what we're talking about. I kind of explained to y'all some of my story when I was a little girl, just some of the things that I went through as a child. And the reason I went through so much as a child, because of the negligence of my parents at that time. Now, I'm not here to play blame game against my parents, because their lifestyle was probably just as bad as mine. And the reason I'm saying that is because you never know what your parents went through, what your great-grandparents went through, and what your generations went through before you. But I want you to know that even though we have generations out there, and there are generational curses that are true, there are also generation blessings. So I wanted to explain to you guys, yes, I grew up in a chaotic situation. I grew up with a mom, like I said, my mom was an alcoholic. I grew up in a some of my years in a foster home, in a group home that was not pleasant. And it was no love there. You know, the love of God was not in those places. And the only reason I can say that it wasn't in those places is because what I went through. And I want to show y'all something that I'm going to bring the camera a little close to my mouth, because I want you guys to see some of the results of some of the things I went through when I was under the care of somebody else who had no love. All right, so here it is, guys. As you can see, I want you to look at my mouth. You see that? And you see that? Those are 2 teeth that are missing. And what happened to me then was that in my group home, it's a place called Youth City that I used to be in. I don't know what you want to call it, orphanages for kids who had that were not with their parents anymore or whatever. I was 5 years old. And at 5 years old, they wanted me to do something that I just was not going to allow to happen, because they tried to do it before and I wouldn't allow it. And we as women, we get pap smears to make sure that we don't have cervical cancer, so they could catch it before it gets too bad. So I'm 5 years old, and you want me to do a pap smear at the age of 5? The first time they tried to do it, I like to jump off the table. I'm 5 years old. And then come to find out, these doctors and these dentists in this little bitty town, and I don't want to disclose the place, but this little bitty town, they all work together. They was all in this together. It was all about money, 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 money. And it was a thing that they were grouped up in, was that you bring them here, you know, we get a little bit of money here, you take them here. Even the dentist's office, it was all about money. They were all connected together. And I come to find that out later in life. And so when I came back home, when I came back to the place where I was in Youth City, where I was, they had sent all of us girls, they had sent us by bus to go in for all of us to get a pap smear done. It was different ages, but I was pretty young. I was probably one of the youngest in the group that they had sent. And so when it came to my turn to get a pap smear done, I was afraid. I didn't want it to happen, and so I would not allow it. And so they brought us all back. Everybody else got theirs done. So we were sitting at the dinner table, and at this time, we called them. We didn't call them mom or anything like that. We called them by their names. You know, it's Miss So-and-so, Miss this, Miss that. And so what happened is she asked them, hold on, y'all. Let me get this off of here. She asked them, did I have mine's done? Did everybody have theirs done? And everybody looked at me because they knew I didn't get mine's done. And so what she had, the lady at the time that was over us, this at the dinner table, we're getting ready to eat supper. She had them hold my hands behind my back, and she came and she hit me so hard in my face that she knocked 2 of my teeth out. Now, mind you, these were my permanent teeth, and so therefore they weren't coming back. But she knocked my 2 teeth out, and I was bleeding everywhere, and so they just had me go clean up, and I had to go to my room without eating supper, which was okay because I was hurting. I was like, why would she do that? You know, I'm 5 years old. Like, why would she, you know, do this to me? I had nobody to tell because my mom wasn't coming to see me because she was living her own life at the time. And then I had one aunt that came to see me. My aunt, she would come see me, which was my dad's sister. And I couldn't tell nobody, but I told her what had happened because she was like, looked at me, of course you're going to notice that I'm missing 2 teeth. And so I told her what happened, and she didn't say anything to them. She took the matters into her own hands. She went and she reported it. So fast forwarded, guys, all these years, and I'll tell you that story because I want to get to the self-image of what happened to me because of that. My self-image went down so low, I would not smile. And when I would smile, I would hide my mouth because I didn't want anybody to see. And I didn't know, I actually had forgotten that this had happened to me because I blocked it out of my mind. A lot of times what we do, we block things that happen to us. We block it out of our minds because we don't want to remember the things of our past, especially if they were bad and it caused us hurt and pain. So I blocked it out of my mind. I didn't want to talk about it. Am I going the right way? I'm going to therapy, guys. I think I'm going the right way. Where's my therapist's office at? Oh, no, it's around this corner. I got confused just that quick. And so I blocked it out of my mind. And so after that, what happened is when I would get in relationships, I took who wanted me, I went with them. Because I had low self-esteem. I didn't think nobody else wanted me. I felt like my smile played a major part in it. I did not feel beautiful. You know, I felt I just felt all out of place. And I was the skinniest child that my mom had. I was so skinny that clothes wouldn't even fit me. So then after all of that took place, I guess I turned to food. I didn't never think that I was an overeater, but food became a comfort to me. And weight started piling up on me, you know. And so then let's fast forward life, you know, of course my mom got us back, and my mom actually kidnapped us, guys. I didn't tell y'all that. We got visitation one time and my mom wanted her kids back. And so we got visitation and we were crying because we didn't want to go back to that horrible place. And so my mom actually kidnapped us, guys. She took us and she didn't bring us back. And so they put out a what APB or whatever they call it, a missing person report on us. And so when they finally caught up with us and brought us back, we went to court, and the judge, thank you for the judge was like, if she was willing to kidnap her kids, then she must want her kids back. And the judge granted my mother custody. Can I tell y'all, that was the most beautifulest thing because we wanted to be with our mom. We loved our mom. My mom just had a problem of drinking alcohol. She just was an alcoholic. And she couldn't control it. She was raised up in an alcoholic environment. And so, ladies, I understand how it is when we feel like, you know, I just got to turn to what I could turn to. I got to be who I think I am and what's more comfortable to me. I don't have to worry about what this person think or what that person think about me. I'm just gonna go with the flow. And guys, that's what I did. I just went with the flow. I was I was so distanced from myself. And sometimes we get distance from ourselves because we judge ourselves so hard. We just open up the doors to things in our lives that later hurt us and put us in a bad situation, in a bad condition, but we don't know any better. And mind you, I didn't know Jesus Christ. If we went to church, I don't know what I thought of it, because I was never taught as a young girl how to serve God, how to believe in the Lord, and all of these things. But, I just want y'all to know that I know how it is, ladies, to come from something very hard and to deal with something even harder, even as an adult. I'm 51 years old and I'm figuring this thing out, but with the help of the Lord. It's not doing it by myself. It's by finding out who I am and who God thinks I am. And then I'm going from there. And sometimes that's what we have to do. We have to pick up those broken pieces and take them to God and lay them at his feet. I open the doors up to so much. I open up the doors, first and foremost, to fornication, because let me tell you, in fornicating with men, I felt like this was my comfort zone. I felt like this is where I wanted to be. I felt like I was getting affection and love, and it wasn't affection and love. It was just what it is. It was fornicating. There was no happiness in it. I thought I was doing the right thing, and then I would get my heart broke. And when getting your heart broke takes you into an even deeper place. It takes you into a deeper place that you don't even want to be in. And some of you ladies know what I'm talking about. So before I close out this video, every day I just want to tell y'all the things I went through. And then going into this, guys, I became to the place where I felt like I had to have a man. I didn't want to be alone. The spirit of loneliness and the spirit of lonely was robbing me of who I was. I was accepting. And then I got in church. That's another story I got to tell y'all about. But if you stay tuned and you keep watching these videos, it's going to bless you. It's going to help you. And some of you are going to be set free, because everything I went through in my life was to show you what God done and how God moves and how God heals and how God delivers and sets us free and how he mends our broken heart, And so he takes our broken pieces and he begin to refine them, and he begin to polish them, and he begin to make those broken pieces new, and he begins to put those pieces together in your life. But you just have to know that it's going to take God to do it in your life, ladies. And I just want you to know. And so I thank God for my page, Wounded Women That Turn to Warrior Women for God, because that's where we are. We may have been wounded, but we are warriors because of Jesus Christ. He made it possible. And so this is just a little snippet of a little bit more of my story, a little bit more of what I went through when I was growing up until I'd say about the last 6 months of my life, or maybe, somewhere in there. I'm finally getting it. But it's only because I have turned to the Lord. I have connected myself with other women who have come out, who God has brought out, other people who God have brought out, to show me that there is good with God. It's beautiful with him. And that's the only reason I'm able to share my life, because I was very, very embarrassed of the things that I went through, especially as a child. Who wants to tell what happened to them? And I didn't even tell you that even in this place that I was in, even going to the dentist, when I had to go to the dentist, and this was before that happened, when I went to the dentist, and then I'm going to close, even at the dentist office, this dentist, they all work together, was supposed to be checking my teeth. And I was there without the comfort of an adult, so I'm sure they knew what they were doing. But this dentist would have me to take off my clothes. Who takes off all of their clothes and stand naked to get your teeth checked in? And he wanted me to come close to him, and I was like, no, I want to put my clothes on. And so I put my clothes on, and so I'm sorry, I had a phone call. So like I said, they all work together. They didn't do nothing about that. What they should have did was call the police. But then they didn't call them. So now when I think about it, Y'all even work with the dentist, and you're sending children there so they could be introduced to the more molestation, who some of us have, well, not me, I didn't come out of that, that's why I wasn't placed there, but some people that and kids that were there were. And so, that's why I say I understand, but I'm here to help you ladies because God has allowed me to go through all of this for you. I love you so much. And share the video because you never know who may need to hear these things that I went through that God brought me out. I love you, squad. I got to get in here to therapy, but you stay blessed. And make sure you like, comment, and subscribe on this channel. Make sure you drop down anything you would like to talk about or discuss or need help with. I love you, and I will see y'all later. Bye, guys. Bye.